Time is now 5:30 p.m. Calling to order the regular meeting of the Warwick School Committee Thursday, October 16th, 2025. At this time, I would kindly ask the lovely Miss Tedeschi to please call the roll.
Mr. Galligan,
Here.
Ms. Kirby Chapman, Ms. Hazelwood, Mr. Wiggins, Mr. Testa. Thank you.
3 present. We have a quorum. At this time, I'd ask all those willing and able to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. One of the highlights of our regular school committee meetings is the recognitions. So I turn it over to our Director of HR, Ms. Ruggieri, for our employee spotlights.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the school committee. I'm happy to kick off the 25-26 school year employee spotlight program. We have several people to honor tonight. If anyone is here, please stand for recognition. First off, in the clerical category, we have Jean Huff from Veterans Middle School. School nurse teacher at Sherman Elementary, Danielle Kennedy. Special education department head at Pilgrim, Kristen Costello-Farrell. Tollgate principal, Candace Calori. Teacher assistant at Welk, Abby Lane. Teacher at the Career Center, Brian Lucier. Computer technician, Greg Rossi. And finally, from our business office, our middle manager, Kayla Quirk. Congratulations to everyone. Keep the nominations coming.
Thank you, Ms. Ruggieri, and congratulations to all those that were spotlighted for the month of September. At this time, we're on to our executive session of our meeting. I'd be looking for a motion to go into closed session for discussion and/or action regarding those items of business exempt from open meetings under general laws of Rhode Island, RIGL 42-46-5, A1, A2, A4, A8, and A9. Made by Mr. Wiggins, seconded by Mr. Testa. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. We're in executive session at 5:34. Time is now 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, October 16th, calling back to order the regular meeting of the Warwick School Committee. At this time, I'd be looking for a motion to seal the minutes of executive session made by Mr. Testa, seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. That was Testa, Wiggins, 4-0. There were no votes taken in executive session. We're now on to the public comment portion of our meeting. This is for agenda items. Individual comments will be respectfully limited to 3 minutes per person, with public comment not to exceed 45 minutes. Though the content of comments will not be restricted, it is the hope of this committee that citizens, committee members, and the administration alike will be respectful of each other's right to speak, tolerant of different points of view, and mindful of everyone's time. This public comment period is for agenda items only. A second public comment session is available later in the meeting for all other topics or concerns. Members of the public are permitted to speak during both public comment periods. Speakers are asked to state their name for their record.
Hello, I'm Darlene Netco, lifelong resident of Warwick, homeowner, taxpayer, voter, teacher. I'm president of the Warwick Teachers Union. I also, as teacher, I'm teaching at Tollgate High School. So I see the new high schools are on the agenda. So I can see every day all the work that's being done. And I think part of the foundation is even being poured for the new school. And I believe the blasting is done, which is good because some of the blasts did knock items off of people's shelves, and it was every day. We were told when the blast would occur, but sometimes they were larger than others and would cause one's, teeth to rattle and so on. But it's good progress. Now we need to see progress at Pilgrim. I know I'm hoping to hear that the arsenic issue is being taken care of, and that I did hear that some of the trees have been knocked down, and so some of the land clearing is starting, but we need to get Pilgrim going so both of these schools can be finished in 2027. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public wishing to comment? Any other members of the public wishing to comment? Any other members of the public wishing to comment? Seeing none, we're on to Part H of our meeting, recommended actions. First item, routine matters. Looking for a motion to move approval. Minutes of public session, September 9th, 2025. Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Looking for a motion of approval of minutes of public session, October 8th, 2025.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. I'm looking for an approval of executive session minutes from October 8th, 2025.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. I'm looking for a motion to move approval of warrants, October 16th, 2025.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We're on to announcements, personnel as presented. Turning it over to Ms. Ruggieri.
Good evening again. Tonight, we have before you some retirements that will need a vote. We say goodbye to Teresa Hebert, social studies teacher at Pilgrim High School with 20 years of service. Carol DeTroya, main office clerk at Veterans Middle School with 24 years of service. Paul Gregson, 52-week custodian at Welk with 25 years of service. Cecile Mulligan, school secretary at Hoxie with 32 years of service. Nancy Lineberry, speech and language therapist at Welk with 30 years of service. Margaret Alexander, elementary special educator at Hoxie with 35 years of service. And Frank Mendonca, groundskeeper at Pilgrim with 25 years of service.
Thank you, Ms. Ruggieri. I'm looking for a motion to move approval on the retirements and resignations as presented. Made by Mr. Testa. Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. And just for clarification, that is 191 years of service walking out the door. We thank them all for everything they've done for our community. We also have some resignations for your approval. Tracy Sutherland, the MLL coordinator. Ahmad Ali, math teacher at Tollgate High School. Christine Camacho, teacher assistant at Scott Elementary School. James Stringfellow, teacher assistant at Tollgate High School. And Todd Hertow, night custodian at Pilgrim High School.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to move approval on the resignations as presented.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. We wish them well as well. We do have 2 leave of absences. These 2 employees have moved to administrative positions. And just to clarify, state law is that they can take up to a 3-year leave of absence from their teaching position when they go into administration. So we ask for your approval for a leave of absence for Scott Bailey from his special education position at Pilgrim, and for Jill Petraka from her MLL position at Norwood.
Looking for a motion to move approval on the leave of absences as presented.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
And just one point of clarification, just to have on the record, you did approve in previous months a leave of absence for Lydia McDowell, Modern World Language teacher at Tollgate. She has rescinded that leave, so she is working this school year, just to have it on the record. And finally, we want to welcome our new employees to the district. Frank Galligan was previously appointed as the interim director of the Career Center, but now he is the official director of the Warwick Area Career and Technical Center. Tracy Jakes, the director of Human Resources. Megan McGuire, principal at Warwick Neck Elementary School. Scott Bailey, assistant principal of Climate and Culture at Pilgrim High School. David Wilson, math teacher at Tollgate High School. Madison Pagano, social studies teacher at Pilgrim High School. And finally, we welcome Melissa Bloomrose as a permanent MLL teacher at Holloman Elementary School. So we wish everyone well and welcome them to Warwick. And for those who continue on in a different capacity, best of luck. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Ruggieri. Those in attendance that are new to the district, if you would please stand. Welcome to Warwick Public Schools. Anything else, Ms. Ruggieri, or we're good? Great. We're now on to donations and correspondences. First, we'd like to recognize Greenwich Farms for their kind donation of $200 for school supplies for students donated to Norwood Elementary School. So thank you very much, Greenwich Farms, for your very kind $200 donation. We also want to thank Budget Commission member Sherry Kuntz, who made a very kind and generous donation of $1,500 for unified basketball donated to Hoxie Elementary School. So thank you very much to Sherry Kuntz. And we also want to recognize Budget Commission Chair from Almonte Group LLC, who made a very kind and generous donation in the amount of $1,500 for unified basketball to the district. So thank you again to Greenwich Farms, Sherry Kuntz, and Almonte Group LLC. At this time, we're on to adoption of policies. I'm looking for a motion to move approval. The first read of policy BFE, administration and policy absence.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We've got a fairly light agenda tonight, and I do want to apologize to the general public. I do have to cut out, but I wanted to make sure that I was present. We are spending a little bit of money tonight, in especially in our bid awards folder, our grants awards, and in our general fund. So what we're going to do is we're going to be moving up the agenda, all discussion action items, and then my colleague to my right, Ms. Kirby Chapman, will be taking over and handling the discussion updates for the general public. So at this time, agenda item 3, I'm looking for a motion to move approval. Discussion action, recommended proposed bond projects, made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. Any discussion from members of the committee?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Testa.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to get close because I want to be heard. These projects that are before us tonight are part of the $56 million bond. And I just remind people that in November of 2020, 74% of the voting public in this city voted for this bond. We made promises with this bond that we had to make adjustments on because of COVID and inflation, COVID-driven inflation, I should say. But I would just say that everything on this bond, everything before us tonight is necessary. So I don't want to be like portending anything, but these are promises that were made to the community, and our expectation, I'll speak for me, but I think my colleagues would concur. Our expectation is we're going to follow through with what we said we were going to do. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Mr. Wiggins?
I'm going to simply concur. We offered to do this for each school, and I think that there should be no instance in which it should be revoked in any way, shape, or form. So I agree with my colleague.
Thank you. Nothing? Yeah, I agree with my colleagues down there. As Mr. Testa would say, we don't want to be left here with wooden nickels and projects that still need to be, you like that? See, I'm taking a page out of your book now. We don't want to be left with projects that still need to be addressed. Moving these bond funds elsewhere or not spending these bond funds doesn't eliminate the work that still needs to be done. Our buildings went a very long time without being addressed, and I'm very appreciative of our Director of Capital and Construction Projects and that department, as well as our building committee and all the work that they've done, substantial work that they've done over the last 5 years to bring all of our facilities up to code, safe, healthy, modern, but there's still a lot of work to go. So this money could definitely help us out and continue to address very urgent needs of this district. Not utilizing these bond funds and something going wrong would require us to dip into general funds, and right now that bank account is upside down. So that is not an option for us. So I totally support the projects that have been proposed in this, and I look forward to seeing what other recommendations are made with the remaining balance of those bond funds. So anything else? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next item, item 6, discussion action, employee A and B, non-certified personnel job performance dismissal. Looking for a motion to move approval on that item.
Move approval of administration's recommendations.
Motion made by Mr. Testa.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. There will be no discussion open on this. This was done in exec. You should abstain.
I will be abstaining from this vote.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Next item we have, I'd be looking for a motion to move approval on discussion action item 7, change orders as presented.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second?
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. So on the change orders, for the public's knowledge, tonight we have 2 change orders before us in our change order folder. They are both grant funded, totaling the amount of $16,585.09, 16,585.09. Any discussion on the 2 change orders before us? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Next, I'd be looking for a motion to move approval on the general funded requisitions as presented to us.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa,
Second?
seconded by Mr. Wiggins. I'm going to make a motion to amend that motion that we remove purchase requisitions 23382 and 23439. Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Made by Mr. Testa. So on the motion on the table, removing those, any questions on that motion? Just on that motion to remove them?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor
Aye.
to remove those?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0 on the motion to amend that packet now. So now we're back to Mr. Testa's original motion, and we could discuss any other requisitions in there. Mr. Testa?
Chair, I just
Yes.
have one. It's more of a comment. This is Rec 23283 for Tyler Technologies, which is essentially the Munis system to Mr. Enos. I just want to state that the decision to acquire this was made, I think, a year ago. And it was said at the Budget Commission's presentation in the city that we were criticized for making an expenditure and not using the system. Well, I was here at the time, as was everyone else, and we were in the middle of a firestorm, so it's not exactly the opportune time to train on a new system when you're plugging every hole in the dike that you can. So I just had to go on record saying that it was a very disingenuous comment to make, and an unfair comment to make. So we all know what the benefit of Munis is, and we're training on it. You've had experience in it, and it's going to be good when it's all set. But that kind of stuff just is high schoolish to me, and I just wanted to go on record as saying it. So thank you.
Understand.
Thank you, Mr. Testa. Any other comments from members of the committee? I would agree with my colleagues' comments. Anyone that has ever been a part of ERP kind of transfer, and for the public's knowledge, ERP, I'm going to dip into the IT world here for a quick second. Enterprise Resource Platform. It's basically the brains of an operation. We saw our organization was previously operating on many different ERPs in various departments. We knew it was necessary. At that time, the two prior finance directors had renewed the previous contract, so we knew what the risk was, is that we were going to be paying for 2 ERPs at one time. But we saw the need for better fiscal oversight and for more accurate accounting to move forward with a brand new ERP system that was modern, and not only modern, but could be supported by the business, because our prior finance people were calling the company and they couldn't get answers. So, and then we also now went on to find out that ERP system can interact with the City of Warwick's ERP system, because they'll be on the same one. So, yeah, I just agree with my colleagues' comments and look to correct the record for the general public. So, Mr. Wiggins?
Also, these systems can't be just clicked on. They need time to be implemented, and you need to have something in the background working to help our district run. So therefore, to think that we could purchase something and it can be immediately implemented and used is short-sighted.
Thank you. For the public's knowledge, on the general funded requisitions, we're now voting on 7 general funded requisitions. So if there's no other comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. At this time, I'd be looking for a motion to move approval on the grant-funded requisitions.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second?
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. For the public's knowledge, there are 9 grant-funded requisitions totaling $117,178.99. I did not see in that folder any recurring costs. So that's 117,178.99. Any comments?
Ma-
Oh,
Mr. Chair,
motion.
I have a question. I think it's might be for Mr. Heatherton. On Rec 23464, Lexia Learning Systems, it's letters material, and it says St. Kevin's School will pay the balance on the invoice. So the total cost is 11,300. So I know this is the Title II funds, so some of them, they flow through us. So is a portion of this particular expenditure flowing to us and then the rest of it to them?
So their proportionate share is that 11,000.
Oh, okay.
So the cost of the invoice was a little more than that, so they have to pay the difference.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Mr. Enos, the $8,059 for the iPads at Welk, was that the item that went before the Budget Commission yesterday?
Yes, that was a question that they had as to why they were being purchased.
Okay.
And
Great.
I explained that that was being purchased through the federal grant award for special education. We had told RIDE that we were going to be buying them. We needed to buy them.
Great. And Ms. Barber, just for the public's knowledge on what those iPads are for, they're children with speech delays or inability to speak, correct?
Hold on. Oh, it's actually for an assessment tool, Cognitive Toy Box, which helps us to progress monitor the preschool classrooms.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other comments from members of the committee? I guess we'll have to discuss this later on, but just procedurally figure out how, like before, we've been approving things and memorializing it, and then we send the expenditures on to the Mayor's Budget Commission for then approval thereafter. So try to figure out, are things going backwards now and then coming back to us, because then this is futile, you know? Thank you. Any other comments from members of the committee? Seeing none. All those in favor of the grant-funded requisitions as
Aye.
presented?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And last but certainly not least, I'm looking for a motion to move approval on the bid awards.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second?
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. Just for the public's knowledge, tonight we have 5 big bid awards, all relative to the construction at Tollgate High School, all recommended unanimously out of the building committee. These 5 bids total $45,368,328. That's 45,368,328, and particularly those items are relative to masonry, plumbing and HVAC, fire protection, and electric. So, any comments on the bids?
Mr. Chair,
Testa.
I would just, Mr. Bates should, believe me, you don't have to get up. I just want to just say that in total, these bids are about $1.2 million under what the budget was. So again, not saying that this is a trend or anything, and I know Mr. Bates, you get nervous. Just so everybody knows that the work that's being done by the entire team. So we win some, we lose some. Some are high, some are low. So far, with the Tollgate bids, we've been pretty fortunate. So just want to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Testa. My only question before moving forward with this, and expected GMP, when can we expect that? Because tonight we've got $45 million before us, and we also did the massive purchase earlier in the year on the steel, concrete, and the elevator. So,
Next month.
Thank you.
Is the target. Yep.
so we'll be docketing that for the November meeting?
Absolutely. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments on the 5 bids relative to Tollgate High School construction before us? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And item 8, discussion action, approval of Warwick School Committee 2026 monthly meeting schedule. I'm looking for a motion to move approval.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Testa.
Second?
Seconded by Mr. Wiggins. For everyone's knowledge, there is one meeting that was moved in September to a Thursday rather than being held on the regular Tuesday, because that's primary election day for all of those who are crazy enough to go on and serve the general public. So this is a 2-day buffer, so that way everybody can kind of recollect themselves and get back here and give 110%. And then the December meeting is moved from a Tuesday to a Wednesday because of a holiday on the Tuesday of that week. So only 2 modifications to our standard meeting on the second Tuesday of every month. Any comments on the calendar for members of the committee? And certainly as we go through the year, we can make modifications as necessary if somebody needs accommodation. So seeing no other comments, I'm looking for a motion to move. I'm looking for all those in favor.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 4-0. At this time, we'll go back to the top of the agenda there for item 1, discussion update presentations, high school projects update, and I will be turning it over to my colleague, Ms. Kirby Chapman.
Good evening. I'm going to start my update this month with the Pilgrim High School. As we all know, it's been several months now since we received notice from DEM that the Pilgrim site is under their jurisdiction for contaminant remediation. Frankly, it pains me to say that as someone who wakes up many mornings thinking about how we can move this process along faster. But the reality is that there's just a lot of steps that the state requires us to take before we can even get out there and start working. So there's only so quickly, it's only so fast we can move. But I want to speak on those steps a little bit. So to date, we've distributed mailings notifying the public of the issue. We've held 2 public informational meetings at the high school. There was over a 2-month period given for public notice and comments. There was an additional 2 rounds of testing. There are now 350 test pits that have been dug out on the athletic fields. There were 3 different reports that have been submitted to DEM for their review and approval as required. The last report was sent on Friday, and the team at DEM tells us that we should expect to get the final approval for this first phase of work maybe as soon as tomorrow, probably more likely early next week. And in an effort to reduce the costs of remediation, Left Field and the capital projects team recently requested a meeting with DEM to make the case that we do have an area out on that eastern portion of the site where there's been no evidence tested for contaminants. So we don't think that we should necessarily have to export it. It's upwards of maybe in the neighborhood of 7,000 cubic yards of soil, somewhere in that vicinity, and not having to export that off-site would save the city a good deal of money. So DEM has agreed to our proposal with the caveat that it does have to get capped on site, but regardless, we could stand to save a good amount of money there. We're going to have more details on that once we're able to actually get out there and start digging. I'm happy to take any questions on the Pilgrim project before I transition to Tollgate. Hearing none. So I could tell you, right? I could stand here and tell you that the Drum Rock building has been completely demoed, that the concrete and foundation walls and footings are being poured as we speak. But wouldn't it be better to show you? And I'd like to request that we queue up about a 90-second video with some music to it that's going to give you an aerial perspective by way of a drone flyover of the full site. And we promise to have similar future videos to present to you as progress continues. You can see the concrete formwork in the middle there, and that's where the concrete's getting poured for the frost walls and footings. We have a high concrete wall on the south side there. Oh, thank you. You'll see a lot of tree clearing has taken place. We have some stockpiles towards the north of processed rock that's been blasted and excavated out of the ground. You can see the building footprint there taking shape. So there it is. Any comments, questions?
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Mr. Bates. That's the first time I've seen that fly over. It's very nice. And I should have asked when you asked for questions about Pilgrim, but that roughly 7,000 cubic yards rather, could be almost 20% of the entire area. And it's not just fill we don't have to remove, it's fill we don't have to purchase.
It's true. Yeah, there's
Right.
a sort of a double benefit there, but again, it comes with the caveat that we have to keep that on site, so we have to find a place for it, and we do have to cap it, right? That's
Yep.
part of the regulations.
Yep.
And there's also the fact that we don't know exactly how much it's going to be, because once we cut around it, so to speak, we're going to have to test the sides of it to see if in fact it is clean, right? So it's going to be more verification, more characterization before we really know how much we can save.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's certainly, it was worth making the proposal to DEM, and they were amenable to it. So we're looking forward to seeing what we can save.
And some of the excess crushed aggregate at Tollgate could be used at Pilgrim too, right?
It's been discussed. It really depends on how much surplus there is on Tollgate. They're going to need some for themselves, and if there is enough to justify taking some of that over and making use of it at Pilgrim, we're going to look at all those options for sure.
No, it's just very exciting. It's unfortunate the Tollgate people don't drive by Tollgate to see it. With Pilgrim, once that work starts, every day people will be driving by that site and seeing something happening. So.
Yeah. Right
Good.
now, it looks sort of like a giant gopher has taken over the site with all the test pit holes. But pretty soon you're going to start to see something go vertically, which will be great.
And I'll ask about Tollgate. Expectation for steel to start being erected, roughly?
December.
It'll be here before we know it. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The video was really cool. So now we're moving on to discussion update, capital and construction projects update.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're going to go over Holloman. The stage lift was approved by the state inspector. Any warranty items that are being addressed as they are reported. Summer projects, all work has been completed. At Park School, we are going to replace a door that has some damage to it. We had a continuous issue at Hoxie School with a door at the main entrance. We had the company out there yesterday. They have addressed the issue. Had over 50 cycles at the door and with no issues. Went through the entire day today with no issues, so hopefully that issue has been taken care of. The septic system at Scott School, we have determined that the owner of 1350 Bald Hill Road property we are requesting to does connect to one of our lines that pump up to the toll gate system. We have notified the owner of the property, of the situation, and the meeting has been scheduled to meet with the city and the property owner to resolve the issue. Future projects designed for Warwick Vets Lippert Welk door projects are underway, waiting on the proposals for the electrical upgrade project from the architect and engineers to move forward with the design work. We have met with architect and engineer on the Governor's Commission on Disabilities Deficiencies Report to review the plan for the best approach and results. We are expecting proposals over the next 2 weeks. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. All All right, discussion update, FY '26 budget update, requisitions approved $500 to $4,999.
Thank you very much. So a couple months into the fiscal year, we remain in a good spot for the expenses. So this fiscal report that you have before you is a document that we're going to be sending you every month. It's going to be, I think, helpful for all of you so that you can see the current year expenses where we are. Look at the same time period last year. So as example, on the for the salaries for the substitutes, year to date as of 9/30/25, we're at $290,000. Last year, at the same time frame, we were at $329,000, almost $330,000. So that's a good trend, and that's going to be helpful to us as the year goes on. But we continue to review all of the expenses before they go to the Budget Commission and before they come here for your final review as well. Are there any questions?
I do. I have a question, and it's not directly related to the spreadsheet. Do we have the ability to get cash discounts from some of the vendors that we purchase from? And if we do, is it even workable?
I'm not sure. I know there was one vendor who I think years ago, WB Mason, was doing cash when you paid the bill within 7 days of receiving the bill. Then you could take that. I'm not sure if they have that now.
Yeah, no, because the world I come from, that was a given to any vendor that we did business with, whether it's 1%, 10, 2%, 20, or 2%, 7. They want to get paid quicker, so they give you a discount. I'm just wondering, looking at all the purchases we do, if it was feasible, right, what would that amount be? It may not amount to much of anything, but I just didn't know, and I don't know, being a municipality, if there are some sort of rules and regulations that may prohibit you from doing that.
It's something that we can look at.
Yeah, just, you guys know who the big vendors are, so everybody would like to get paid faster.
Sure.
So if we want to pay you faster, then you got to give us something too. So thank you, Mr. Enos.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you again for everything
Thank you.
that you do. Okay, lastly, we're doing a discussion update, superintendent update.
Madam Chair, members of the school committee. Now that sounds good, doesn't it, Madam Chair? It's an exciting time to be here in Warwick. The other day I was driving up near the Tollgate campus and you see the cranes in the air and you see progress. I see an investment in the future of Warwick. I see that this is going to rebrand the city, and it's a message to the state that Warwick values education, that we're letting families know that we want the best for our kids, and we care about our kids, and we care about the future of the city. It's difficult to quantify the cost of new construction. I can quantify it very simply as it's the future of Warwick. We care about you, and we want the best for you, and this is our future. It's worth the investment. The video this evening that was shown by Left Field, I hadn't seen it until tonight, but when you look at that video, you see progress. You see a full-blown gravel operation. You see foundations going in, and you see the future coming out of the ground. And it's a future that will help Warwick be more vibrant over the next 50 years. Looking back, we haven't seen an investment in this city in 53 years. So hats off to the school committee, to the capital projects team, the city, for moving forward with this project. I look forward to see how it shapes up over the next 2.5 years, and I'm looking forward to February when we think about making an additional investment into the schools. Something I'm proud of. I'm glad that the last two superintendents moved this agenda forward. you know, they did a lot of the grunt work. I happened to run into a previous director of secondary today at a meeting, at a state meeting, and we're chatting. I said, you know what, you did all this grunt work. It's starting to come to fruition, and I want to say thank you. A lot of people have put a lot of effort into the major capital investment in the city, and it's something to be proud of. Over the past month, I've had the opportunity to go to every school. I had reported last month that I've visited every school. And since that time, we've had some data that's been released to us from the state on RICAS. And I'm pleased to say that the hard work of the students, teachers, and our administrative teams, we've seen progress in both math and ELA. We've seen increases at Wyman, Vets, Park, and mathematics. We've seen significant increases in ELA at Wyman, Vets, Wyman, Scott, Robertson, and Park. Everyone is working hard. Great things are happening in this city, and everyone needs to know that Warwick is on the move. And once again, it's because of the hard work of the students, teachers, and the administrative team that we have here in Warwick. I've had the opportunity to work with the secondary office and the curriculum office. I want to thank Dr. Antonelli and Mr. Kane. I'd also like to thank the department chairs at the high school level in math and ELA. They've been working collaboratively on looking at ways to support our students to be more successful in SAT preparation. So I want to thank everyone for your hard work. Finally, I want to say there's some fun things happening at the end of this month. The elementary schools are having trunk or treat events. So I'd ask parents to pay close attention to the school calendars and to look at the upcoming events. It's one of my favorite times of year. I'm looking forward to going to different trunk or treat events. I kind of have a sweet tooth. If anyone who knows me, I walk from office to office and I look for sweets all day long as I'm doing my job. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming events, and that is my report for the month of October. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions? Are you dressing up too for Halloween?
You never know. I dress up as a superintendent.
Superintendent. Great costume. All right, so on to public comment. Everybody knows the rules. You're all professional.
Hi. Darlene Netco again. I noticed under donations, Sherry Kuntz had donated $1,500 Unified basketball. I also I wanted to thank Sherry for donating 2 cases of paper to the Tollgate English department. I go to all the Budget Commission meetings, and unfortunately I only have 3 minutes here, otherwise I could tell quite a tale about the Budget Commission. But I do want to thank Sherry because one of the topics, you know, we were talking afterwards about the fact that we had to wait for these approvals from this commission to get the supplies out. And a lot of the schools had put them through earlier than others, and so people weren't getting paper. So it was very kind of Sherry to donate 2 cases of paper to the Tollgate English department because we were out at that time. I also wanted to talk about non-agenda item, the need for more special ed teachers and special ed TAs. On the topic of the Budget Commission, the chair keeps lamenting that he can't cut staffing and cut. Well, we've cut enough. I tell him that all the time. He and I don't see eye to eye. No surprise there. But I hear from the people in the schools, and I know we need more special ed teachers and special ed TAs. And I know the special ed department will be working on quantifying that for you, you know, to show where the need is. But I anecdotally am telling you, we have this need. And so to the Budget Commission, you can't cut any more staff. You've cut enough. And the budget, one person anyway, I don't want to lump all 5 of them together because there's really only one who has a negative agenda. And we knew that from the start. And we saw from the presentation on September 22nd what that agenda was, because that Budget Commission fine-tooth combed everything and proved that the school department needs $2.1 million more in order to run. And for that chair to stand up there and prove it, or have Sherry prove it, and then turn around and tell the city not to give it to the schools is criminal, obscene, and outrageous. And we can't cut any more staff. And they like to say they were dinging the school department for using grant funds to then try to permanently fund positions, but the school department hasn't done that. I'll use the example of math interventionists. They started out with 1 interventionist for 2 schools. During COVID, they had the money from ESSER to put 1 interventionist in each school. They tried to maintain it by cutting other positions. The business teacher position at VETS, for example, art teacher positions, enough to equal those math interventionist positions. And now, because of the budget, math interventionists are now back to doing 2 schools. So there's a lot of misrepresentation out there about what the school budget is and what the school department has been doing.
3 minutes,
And
Darlene.
yeah, I wish I had more time to go into more detail, but thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else for public comment? Okay, future meetings, we have fiscal subcommittee meeting Wednesday, October 22nd, 3 p.m. All right, never mind, that has been canceled. Please, sorry, today it's been erased. We have policy subcommittee meeting Tuesday, November 4th at 4:30. Building committee meeting Wednesday, November 5th at 7:30 a.m. Monthly school committee will be Wednesday, November 12th, 6:30 next month. And Health and Wellness Subcommittee meeting Tuesday, December 2nd at 4:15. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. So adjourned. Woo!